Every generation has a movie that reminds them what friendship used to feel like. For millions of people, Cooley High is that movie. Long before social media, before text messages, before smartphones, friendships were built on front porches, neighborhood sidewalks, basketball courts, and hours spent simply walking with nowhere particular to go. That's exactly what makes these characters feel timeless. They weren't written to be heroes. They were written to feel familiar. Preach was the storyteller, quick with a joke, clever enough to talk his way out of almost anything.
Can I have some ketchup on it?
We don't have any ketchup.
You ain't got no ketchup?
That's right.
Got some relish? Can I have some relish on it, please?
I don't have any relish.
You got no relish?
No relish.
Well, what you got?
We have mustard.
Mustard?
That's it.
You mean a great big establishment like this and all you got is mustard?
That's right.
I don't like mustard. You like mustard?
Yeah, I like mustard.
Oh, yeah? Well, then, here, you eat the hot dog.
But underneath the humor lived a young man who dreamed of something bigger. He represented every kid who believed life had more to offer, even if they couldn't yet see how to get there. Maybe that's why audiences connected with him, because most of us have been preached at one point in our lives.
Look, I tried being nice to you, but you walk around with your ass up on your shoulders. Well, let me tell you one thing. You sure are fine.
Then there was Cochise.
Pooter's here and ready to jam. But not right now. I'll see y'all later.
The athlete, the guy everyone liked. Confident without trying. Funny without forcing it. The kind of friend who made every room feel lighter the moment he walked in.
Oh man, they don't know nothing. We're supposed to be celebrating, right?
Every neighborhood has someone like Cochise.
Come on, man, let's go get some of that wine.
The person everyone quietly believes is destined for something great.
Oh, yeah!
A scholarship. My man got a scholarship. Dynamite. God. Yeah, I'm really out of sight, man. Hey, man, that is really hip.
You know how it is.
You couldn't help believing his best days were still ahead. Every friend group has one. The one who somehow turns every ordinary day into an adventure.
Him, and he'll be nice to you.
Hey, look out, man.
He wasn't trying to become famous. He wasn't chasing success. He was simply enjoying being young. And sometimes, that's enough. And then there was Brenda. More than just a love interest, Brenda represented something every teenager hopes to find. Someone who sees you, believes in you, and reminds you that growing up also means learning how to love.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you that. As soon as I steal a copy.
Their relationship wasn't perfect. It wasn't glamorous. It felt real. Looking back today, it's easy to focus on the unforgettable ending. But that's not why Cooley High became a classic. It became a classic because audiences first fell in love with these people, their jokes, their arguments, their dreams, their friendships.
You, but what can I do, baby? I do so much thinking of you. Oh, Pooter, you can't sing no bass.
They reminded us of our own classmates, our own neighborhoods, and the friends we were certain we'd know forever. Watching them now, there's a feeling that's hard to describe. We know something they don't. We know that moments like these never last as long as we think they will.
Oh, this is for the brothers who ain't here.
Hey, man, you pouring out our wine.
This is for the brothers who ain't here.
Forget them, man. They ain't here. They don't get none.
Oh, man, look, there's a lot of brothers that's dead or in jail, and we just got to give them a little bit of respect. Understand? You pour.
Before we keep going, I want to hear from you. If you grew up watching Cooley High, What part of the movie has stayed with you all these years? Was it the friendship, the music, or the ending that none of us ever forgot? Share your memories in the comments below. And if you're enjoying these deep dives into the movies that shaped our generation, I'd love to have you join this community by subscribing. We've got a lot more stories to uncover together. If the characters gave Cooley High its heart, the music gave it its soul. And that's because music wasn't simply playing in the background. It was telling the story right alongside the characters. Think about the world these teenagers were growing up in, the early 1960s. Motown was everywhere. Soul music was becoming the soundtrack of Black America. And for young people, music wasn't something you simply listened to. It was something you lived. A song could take you right back to a person, a place, or a moment you thought you'd forgotten. And Cooley High understood that. The filmmakers didn't need to explain everything. Sometimes, they could let the music do the talking. A song could tell us that somebody was falling in love before they ever said the words. It could make an ordinary afternoon feel special. And when the mood changed, the music changed with it. For the audience watching Cooley High in 1975, these weren't just old songs. They were memories. They were the records they grew up listening to, the songs they heard coming through the radio, from somebody's living room, or blasting from a car parked outside the neighborhood. And that's one reason the movie feels so authentic. The music also helped us understand the characters without having to. Preach was always dreaming about something bigger. Cochise seemed to have the world in front of him. Brenda was discovering love. And Pooter, well, Pooter was just trying to have a good time. The music gave each of those moments a feeling. But there's something important we have to remember. Cooley High may have been set in the early 1960s, but audiences experienced it in 1975. And Chicago had changed. A lot. The kids we were watching on screen belonged to one Chicago, but the people watching them in theaters were living in another. And that's what makes the film's teenagers so important. They weren't thinking about economic statistics. They weren't thinking about deindustrialization. They were girls, music, basketball. They were thinking about school and what they were going to do that weekend. They were just kids. But we know something they didn't. The world around them was changing. And eventually, that change would touch their lives too. Maybe that's why Cooley High feels so bittersweet when we watch it today. We're looking at young people who believe they have plenty of time to grow up, plenty of time to chase their dreams, plenty of time to see where life takes them. But life doesn't always give us that much time. And that's where Cooley High stops being just a story about teenagers and becomes something much bigger. The story about innocence, friendship, and how quickly the future can change. Because sometimes the people we think we'll grow old with become the memories we carry with us. For most of the movie, Cooley High feels like a memory you want to stay inside. The jokes, the music, the friendships, the first loves, the feeling that tomorrow is always waiting for you. And then, everything changes. Cochise is killed in a senseless act of violence. And suddenly, the movie we thought we were watching becomes something else. Because Cochise wasn't supposed to die. He was young. He was talented. He had dreams. And just like Preach, he was supposed to have a future. That's what makes his death so painful. And then there's Preach, the dreamer, the one who wanted to become a writer, the one who was always imagining something beyond the neighborhood. By the end of the movie, Preach is left carrying something he never expected, the memory of his friend. And maybe that's the real ending of Cooley High, not the moment Cochise dies, but what happens to the people who are left behind.
I wrote a poem for you. Nigga, I know you don't like poetry, but I'm gonna read it to you anyway. I ain't never read my poetry for nobody, not even my mama. See a damn thing. It goes. We were friends a long time ago. Laughing, rapping, chasing girls, obeying no laws except the one of caring. Basketball days and high nights, no tomorrows. Unable to remember yesterday. We live for today. Oh man, it don't rhyme. Cheese, you could have been the greatest, man. You could have been. Swish.
Because sooner or later, every generation learns the same lesson. Childhood doesn't come with guarantees. Some friendships last a lifetime. Some end after graduation. And some end before we're ready to say goodbye. That's why people who watched Cooley High decades ago still talk about it. They weren't just watching a movie. They were watching people who reminded them of themselves, their friends, their neighborhoods, their youth. And maybe that's why the Chicago backdrop matters so much. The city wasn't just where the story happened. It was part of the story. The streets raised these kids. The neighborhood knew them. And the city watched them grow. Or, in some cases, watched them grow up too soon. More than 50 years later, Cooley High still matters. Not because it was perfect. Not because every character made the right decision, and not because the world it showed was without problems. It matters because it captured something that can disappear very quickly, the feeling of being young. Before life became complicated, before some dreams changed, before some people disappeared from our lives, there was a time when all we had to worry about was tomorrow. And sometimes, that's the part of our lives we miss the most. Cooley High began as a story about a group of teenagers in Chicago. But somewhere along the way, it became a story about all of us. About friendship. About dreams. About the people who helped shape who we became. And about the memories that stay with us long after the people and places are gone. Maybe that's why we keep coming back. Because when we open that old yearbook, we're not just looking at Preach, or Cochise, or Brenda, or Pooter. We're looking at a version of ourselves. If Cooley High takes you back, tell me about it in the comments. What do you remember most? The friendships, the music, Chicago, or that ending? And if you enjoy these trips back through the movies and memories that shaped our generation, subscribe and come back for the next story.